what is the creature doing here? So he is wondering, what is this dog doing over here? How come a dog which is not a mountain breed has reached this height? So whatever goes off, like that only again it comes. Even if the mist goes, it comes back soon. Even if the sunbeam goes, it comes back soon. So there is a change in weather. He is telling it only because he can bring out this incident in front of the readers only using the words. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today we are here with one of the important poems prescribed by University of Mysuru for first sem B.Ca. We are going to understand about the most interesting poem of all the poems here, that is Fidelity. This is one of my favorite poems by William Wordsworth. Let us see what is there in today's session. We are going to understand about the poet first, then we'll move on to the title, then we'll understand the theme of the poem, then about the summary, then we'll understand few important questions that are there in this poem. We'll also go to the conclusion, that is the summary in 1 or 2 lines. So let us start with the introduction of the poet here. So William Wordsworth was actually called the poet of nature by Percy B. Shelley, that is P.B. Shelley. He too called himself a worshipper of nature. So William Wordsworth called himself as the worshipper of nature because most of his poem he wrote were all about nature only. So he held a firm faith that nature could enlighten the kind-heartedness and universal brotherhood of the human being, and only existing in harmony with nature, man can get true happiness. You involve yourself in nature, you are sure to find true happiness, is what he says in his poem. The major theme of his poem constitutes such themes only, or whatever you saw over here. So this poem, the one which we are reading now, that is Fidelity. So this is chosen from the collection of his poems, that is the Rainy Day. So it's a very interesting poem for you. This incident, the title I'm talking about, this incident talks about the enduring affection and that is there between the dog and the owner. Enduring is a long time love and affection that is there between the owner and the dog. Mostly it is from the dog towards the owner here. So this surpasses all that of the human beings. So the last lines of the poem beautifully describe about the love and devotion of the pet dog that the owner had, and this sums up about the fidelity, that is the loyalty towards the owner that is there. It is above all the human estimate. Nobody could imagine how the dog has shown his love towards the owner. So now let us move on to the poem here. In the meantime, when I read the poem, I want you to concentrate on the rhyming scheme over here. Okay, so you will tell me what the rhyme scheme is. A barking sound the shepherd hears. So one of the characters here is the shepherd. Okay, one character is shepherd. A barking sound the shepherd hears, a cry as of a dog or a fox. So he is confused whether the cry is that of a dog or that of a fox. So he is confused. He halts and searches with his eyes, means he scans that area, where the place where he has gone, there is some cry. He is confused between the cry, that is whether it belongs to a dog or a fox. So he is also scared because wounded foxes are actually dangerous. So he was little scared, he was little confused. So he just scans that area. He doesn't go and literally search, he just looks around that area and among the scattered rocks, and now at a distance can discern a stirring in a brake of fern. So there was a fern that was there at a distance. So he could see something over there. So he could discern, that is he could guess that he has seen something over there. And glancing through that covert green. So he just saw something there, some movement over there. So he saw in between that greenery, he thinks he saw something there, and instantly a dog is seen. So he could see that movement there, and he got to know that there is a dog in between that green over there. So he decides whether to go there or not. So now what is the scenario? The shepherd is standing at a distance. He is scanning that area, and he could find a dog over there. That is, there was some movement in between the shrubs over there, bushes over there. So that time there he saw a dog there. The dog is not of mountain breed. So this dog he is talking about now, this was not of a mountain breed, means this belonged to some city side or the countryside. It was not a dog that that was of a mountain breed. It was not used to the mountain terrain there. That is what he means. Its motion too are wild and shy. So it is upset with something. The way it is moving, it is upset with something. It is actually shy. It is not used to the area over there. Okay, with something as shepherd thinks unusual in its cry. So this shepherd thinks that this cry is actually very unusual. It is not at all normal. It was very much abnormal as the shepherd gauged it. Nor there is anyone in sight. So he sees if somebody is there. Since this is not a mountain breed dog, he looks around over there. He doesn't see anybody there also. All around in hollow on height. So it is a mountainous place wherein there are rocks. So not even below the rocks, not even there somewhere above. So a kind of mountain like hill, right? So below also nobody is there, above also nobody is there. He just scans the whole area. So wherever he says, he finds nobody at all. Nor shout nor whistle strikes his ear. So he looks around there. If somebody is calling for the dog, not at all, nobody is there. He doesn't find any whistle, no sound, nothing he finds. What is the creature doing here? So he is wondering, what is this dog doing over here? How come a dog which is not a mountain breed has reached this height? What is it doing here is what he thinks now. Then it was a cove, a huge recess that keeps till June, December's snow. Now he's talking about the nature. The poet is giving us a picture of the nature there. So the situation was like it was cold. So it starts from December and till June. So some snowy kind of the weather was a little snowy there. A lofty precipice in front. Precipice is the cliff that is there. Cliff means there is a rock which is at the end. After that there is a huge, people might fall over there. Okay, so that kind of a thing there. So it is more or less like a tarn. Okay, here it is told there. A silent tarn below. So precipice, it is the cliff there. So just after that there is a tarn. Okay, in Kannada you say prapata, right? So you fall and you reach the base. So that type of a situation there. Far in the bosom of Helvellyn. So this is the name of that place. Remote from public road dwelling. So in the heart of that Helvellyn, that is the mountain, and remote from public road dwelling. So it was very much far from public road. It was no way related to any human settlement. Okay, so pathway or cultivated land. So there was no pathway, there was no road at all, neither there was any cultivated land. So how come this dog is here? So maybe somebody has brought it for cultivation or something, he thought, but it was very much far from any cultivated land. There was no road also. So who has left the dog over here is what he thinks. From trace of human foot or hand. So there was no human foot or hand, nothing like that, means no human intervention at all. So such a place this dog was there. So I want you to observe, as I told you to observe the rhyme scheme, I want you to observe if the sentence ends in that line. Okay, so here you can see far in the bosom of Helvellyn, it doesn't end over here, it goes to the next line also. Okay, you need to read the next sentence in order to get the complete meaning. Remote from public road or dwelling, again you don't get the complete meaning. Go to the next line. Pathway or cultivated land, again the sentence is not complete. From trace of human foot or hand, again you get the complete meaning. So what do you call such structure as? You've already learned it in the previous poem. So when we go to the end, you'll be able to understand it better. But in the meantime, I want you to just think over that. Okay, we'll continue now. There sometimes doth a leaping fish send through the tarn a lonely cheer. So there was a tarn there, means anybody would fall over there and they would reach the base. So there was some water there. So there might be some fishes, some fish over there. So at that time, maybe one or two fish might jump up and they would give some sound. Other than that, there was no sound at all over there. It was completely quiet there. The crags repeat the raven's croak. So there might be some echo due to no sound at all. Whenever there is some sound, there might be some echo there. In symphony austere, so that situation, that tarn, so that nature he is talking about. So everything is, there is some agreement between everything. Thither the rainbow comes, the cloud So nature he is describing over here how the nature does its work. So rainbow comes, then the cloud comes, the mist that spread the flying shroud, and sunbeams and the sounding blast. So he's talking about nature all over here. So whatever might happen, nobody is there, no human is there. Whatever might happen, the nature is doing its job like without anybody's permission. Okay, so sun comes, goes, mist comes, goes. So this way everything is happening automatically. So that if it would hurry past, maybe whatever has happened, if at all it could go, like I could go back in the time machine, but that enormous barrier binds it fast. So whatever goes off, like that only again it comes. Even if the mist goes, it comes back soon. Even if the sunbeam goes, it comes back soon. So there is a change in weather. That is the nature the poet is talking about. Not free from boding thoughts. So he was continuously thinking, his thoughts were not free at all. His mind was not at all free of thoughts over here. A while the shepherd stood. So he stands there for a while. The shepherd stands there for a while, then makes his way over the rocks and stones, following the dog. So what he does, he just follows the dog. He goes and reaches the dog. So he makes way and reaches that place. So he wants to know what this creature is doing over here. So he makes way and he goes there as quickly as he may. How fast he could, so fast he goes over there. That is, the shepherd goes over there. Nor far had gone before he found. He had gone only a little far. Nor far means not too far he has gone. Nearby only he had gone before he found a human skeleton on the ground. So what does he find? He finds a human skeleton on the ground. So he is surprised what this dog is doing over here. Now he got the answer for that. So the shepherd is surprised over there. He finds a human skeleton on the ground. That appalled discoverer with a sigh. Appall means to be surprised with anxiety. Okay, so he was surprised, he was shocked, you can say. Okay, so he was shocked. That is, discoverer means it refers to the shepherd. Okay, so the discoverer is shocked with a sigh. Now he can't do anything. The human is not alive. Okay, it is like he has already lost his form only. There is only a skeleton. Okay, so with a sigh he cannot do anything. That helplessness is seen in that sighing. Looks round to learn the history. Now he is looking around to know what has happened to that person. Now the skeleton is there. So what has happened to that person? He tries to get some clues from the situation that is over there. So whatever he sees, he tries to get some clues over there from those abrupt and perilous rocks. So terrain is very difficult to cross is what he means. The man had fallen that place of fear. So that person had fallen from that place due to fear. At length upon shepherd's mind. So at some place there, it breaks and all is clear. Some place in his mind he gets a clear thought that like what has happened to this person. He instantly recalled the name. Somewhere he recalls that he had read this incident in somewhere. So what was that incident? Instantly he recalls, and who he was and whence he came. Who is this person? When did he come? Is what he goes on thinking. Remembered too the very day on which the traveler passed this way. So he recalls that incident when this person had passed this way. So now he is able to go back in the time machine, but only in his thoughts. He goes back and recalls that incident, what has happened, where it has happened, what might be the whereabouts. So he could remember what had happened. So what does he remember? But here a wonder, for whose sake this lamentable tale I tell. So why has this story been told over here by the poet here? So let me tell you, this is a wonder why I am telling this story to you. A lasting monument of words, this wonder merits well. So you can understand by the way the poet has told this story to you. He is telling it only because he can bring out this incident in front of the readers only using the words. Okay, so this tale would have been untold. This incident would have just passed. But since the person who has gone and discovered is trying to tell the story to the world because he wants to bring out the loyalty of the pet dog towards the world, towards the owner there. So that's why he is telling, this wonder merits well. So this is actually a worthy story to be told. The dog which still was hovering nigh, repeating the same timid cry. So it is crying for the owner. It is crying for the dead owner. Maybe this incident has happened 3 or 6 months ago only, but still the dog is crying there for its owner. This dog had been through 3 months space. Yes, here he tells that it is 3 months that the dog has been here. It has been waiting for the owner to come back, a dweller in that savage place. So this was there, this dog was there in that savage place, in that very difficult place where there is no human activity at all. There is nobody there, literally lonely. Okay, so in that place it has been waiting for its owner from 3 months. So yes, the proof was plain that since the day when this ill-fated traveler died, so from that day when the traveler died, the proof is very clear in front of us. So from that day the traveler died, the dog had watched about the spot. It had been watching the spot. It was been waiting there. It had been waiting there for its owner or by his master's side. Maybe it was waiting there just by the side of the master, waiting for him to get up. It doesn't know that the master has died, but it was waiting over there. Or maybe it was waiting for somebody to come and help this person. That's why it was crying also. Now nourished here through such long time, he knows who gave that love sublime. So now you can understand what kind of love they two had between them. Maybe the owner had shown that love towards the dog. That's why that had that loyalty towards the owner. And here again the love is actually unmatchable. Okay, so that is what the poet is talking about. And gave that strength of feeling great above all human estimate. So this love what the dog is showing, it actually doesn't come, you can never compare it to any humans at all. So that is what the poet is telling over here. The strength of love that the dog has shown, the loyalty that the dog has shown towards the owner is actually unmatchable. So this is the summary of the poem Fidelity. So we have few questions that we have to understand over here. Yeah, I didn't touch upon this poetic device. There is only one poetic device. There is no rhyme scheme at all. This is written in free verse like a story. So the only poetic device here is enjambment. Okay, you need to understand that there is only one poetic device, that is enjambment. The sentence doesn't end in one line. It goes to the next line also. There are a few important objective type questions that might come in your exam. You need to understand that. So what does the shepherd confuse the dog to? The shepherd actually confuses the dog to a wolf because of the cry the dog was giving out. What does the shepherd find on the precipice? That is the cliff there. So he finds the skeletal remains of a human. Okay, so there is a dog and there is skeletal remains of a human being. So what does the poet want us to imagine about the dead man? The poet wants us to imagine that the dead man was a traveler who journeyed to this place with his faithful companion. So this is also the summary, one-line summary you can say, of this whole poem Fidelity. Okay, so this was the summary of the poem Fidelity. There are many more questions which we will be discussing in our physical classes. So thank you for your time. Hope you understood the poem Fidelity. This is really a wonderful, a touching poem you can say. Okay, so read it with a lot of love and affection. You will feel that love and affection that the dog showed towards the owner. So go through the video, then go through the poem. You will understand the poem better. Okay, so thank you for your time. See you next time with another poem prescribed by the university. So take care. Bye-bye. See you soon.